really well trained, that have worked really, really hard to change and be what society wants to see in law enforcement, and they're trying to take all of that away. Yeah, that disappoints me.
In 12 investigates, 3 former high-ranking officers at the Mocksville Police Department are breaking their silence tonight.
After a period of difficulty in the department, the town board voted unanimously not long ago to dissolve the MPD, and that'll be effective July 1st. Our Devontae McKenna spoke with those at the top to see how Mocksville's police department ended up at the bottom.
The last person to lead this department acting as interim chief was Robert Bennett. He says during his interview on March 10th, he made one thing loud and clear.
I'll be happy to come in to help you save this department, but I'm not here to dissolve a department. That's not me. That's not who I am.
And that's why Bennett resigned as executive officer on April 28th. The same day, he says he was called into a closed session meeting with the Mocksville Town Board. What was discussed in that meeting pointed him to believe MPD was gone.
And I don't know why, but it seems like these 2 board members have the other 3 dogged. I don't get it.
Bennett says little things like budget request and a hiring freeze at the request of the town board weren't good signs in his eyes. He says in the 7 weeks he was there acting as interim chief, the interaction between MPD and the town board was, quote, bizarre.
It appeared to me that a lot of them didn't quite understand the council manager form of government.
It's a similar stance that was the focus of a letter about issues at Mocksville Police. It was addressed to the mayor from the North Carolina Police Benevolent Association, dated April 6, 2021. It says there were concerns of harassment, overreach, and egregious mismanagement by the board and town administration. The letter says the town listened to the loud few at the peril of the silent majority.
What we found was there was a lot of town officials, including people outside the town, that were doing all they could to make this police department fail.
Mayor William Marklin says at the time he got the letter, discussions were already underway about condensing MPD, so he didn't send a response back to the NCPBA. The mayor admits there were issues when it came to following chain of command.
There had been instances where officers went directly to board members and board members went directly to officers, and that caused some of the issues that we were dealing with today.
Others, like former MPD Major KOULA Black, would say overreach by the town council started this mess. Black resigned in March after claiming countless acts of sexual harassment and gender discrimination.
And it certainly felt while I was there, since 2014, that the board tended to overreach and over-involve themselves in day-to-day operations with the agency.
From the fiasco with Sergeant Butter starting back in 2019 to the inability to keep a consistent interim chief in the last few months, the town board has had consistent involvement with MPD doings. Former Chief Pat Reagan would agree.
A lot of times in small governments and in local governments, it's difficult to separate from the structure that's in place as to your own personal feelings and beliefs.
The town says dissolving MPD and giving Davie County Sheriff's Office law enforcement control would save about $1.3 million in the course of 3 years. For some, this money talk is nothing more than a cover-up.
It was more of a political issue before it ever became a budgetary issue. They're using the budgetary issue, in my belief, to get rid of the police department for other reasons. If the budget was an issue, they should have gave the town a chance to fix it.
Fixing it by nixing it.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? And that passes unanimously. In a perfect world, we wouldn't be here, but this is where we are. And again, I think in a business sense, this is what's best for the town. This is what's best for the taxpayers. And I think we're going to move forward with this decision.
At the hands of 5, roughly 20 will have their hands tied come July 1st, when MPD is in the rearview mirror.
And they're trying to take all of that away. Yeah, that disappoints me.
The department's problems did not start in the department. They started with the board.
They just had their lives turned upside down, and it was turned upside down over small town politics.
Mayor Marklin says if things aren't working out with the Davie County Sheriff's Office at the end of this 3-year contract, they can then reconsider bringing back the police department. In Mocksville, I'm Devontae McKenna, WXII 12 News.